Hey everybody, it's Big Ben's Movie Show. Again, I'm your host, Big Ben. This week, my co-host, former staff member here on the show, who's now come back, and we're glad to have him back. It's Noah Welday. Noah, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Cool. So Noah and I this week watched 10 Cloverfield Lane and the Brothers Grimsby. Let's go ahead and start with, that's the trailer posters for both of those. Let's go back to 10 Cloverfield Lane. We're going to take a quick look at the clip, and we'll talk about the movie.
Children behave, that's what they say when we're together, and watch how you play. They don't understand, and so we're running just as fast as we can, holding on to one another's hand, trying to get away into the night, and then you put your arms around me.
Don't open that door! They're going to get all of us killed! Something's coming.
All right, 10 Cloverfield Lane, that was the trailer. Now, Noah, I didn't see the original Cloverfield movie. Did you see the Cloverfield movie?
No.
Okay, so
I don't believe in it.
We're on equal footing here then. What did you think of 10 Cloverfield Lane?
I loved it. I think this is easily the best movie J.J. Abrams has been attached to.
That's high praise. I don't know. I'd have to go, because here's the thing. J.J. Abrams has been attached to a lot of movies.
Yeah, but he's also been attached to 10 Cloverfield Lane.
So yeah, I loved the movie. I don't know if I loved it as much as Noah did, but I did really love the movie. The cool thing about this movie to me was that it feels like it's three movies in one. There's a horror movie aspect to it, and then there's kind of like this weird, quirky comedy type movie going on. At the end of the movie, there's an alien thing going on, which I believe that's the piece that goes back to the original Cloverfield movie.
Yeah.
So that part, I thought everything worked really well. Writing is very good, and it keeps you guessing. You never quite know exactly where the movie's going to land. What did you think in terms of like? Oh, let me ask you this: John Goodman.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I've been a John Goodman fan for years and years and years since his work on Roseanne.
You modeled yourself after
exactly. Yeah, I do my best to look like John Goodman and be like John. I don't let my family eat at meals just like John Goodman. But this performance of his. This, I believe, I can say without a doubt, is the best John Goodman performance he's ever had. Yeah.
I didn't mean to step on you there, but
go right ahead. Step
agree.
all over me.
John Goodman was amazing. Anytime he'd come up on screen, I would just get anxious.
Yeah.
And terrified.
They do a really good job of, like, he moves very slowly and ploddingly, but at times they show you his power.
Yeah.
And it's frightening.
Mm-hmm.
He's so scary in this movie.
Oh my God.
And even before his character decides to shave, and then he actually seems less scary after the shave.
Really?
Well, for a second, then I was like, wait, why did he shave?
Yeah.
And then I was all worried again. But before the shave, he looks really creepy and everything's, yeah.
And he's also, John Goodman recently lost a lot of weight.
So he doesn't look like this anymore.
No.
No, yeah.
This is like the largest I've ever seen John Goodman.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely helped the character. Because, I don't know, the way he just kind of clambered around and just like pounded. He was,
He
so
was just
creepy.
so much bigger than all the other characters.
Yeah, all the other guys, the girl and the guy, were both small. They're all both shorter than him, and they're
small,
skinny
shorter,
people.
skinny people.
And he's this giant, like monstrous presence in a movie with literal monsters in it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. So he's this giant dude in a tiny space because they're living in a bunker. And he takes up, like when they walk down a hallway, like the two of them could walk side by side. He's taking up the whole hallway. He's amazing in this. Absolutely go see this. This is probably going to be one of the best movies we see, probably for this month, until Batman vs. Superman comes out.
I'd say it's my favorite movie of the year so far.
It's definitely up there with me. Yeah. Deadpool's right up there too. But yeah, no, this movie is really good. This is a lot more artistically inventive than Deadpool. It's a lot more, really just in terms of quality, in terms of grown-up movie quality, this is the best one.
We were talking a lot about John Goodman's performance. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was also fantastic in it, and so was the other actor.
The other actor,
I can't
remember, but I kept in my head every time I saw him, I'm like, that's Jim Harper, because all I can think of him is from Newsroom, where he played Jim Harper, and did quite well.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was really great. All right, moving along to Brothers Grimsby. This is one, initially when I saw this on the schedule, I wasn't quite sure what to think. It's a Sacha Baron Cohen movie. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer. We'll start talking about the movie.
Look, Seb, that's the couple that's adopting us. You are coming with me, right, Nobby? I'd never leave my little brother.
We've decided to adopt one of the brothers, Mr. Losley.
But these boys are inseparable. It would break their hearts.
Sir, are you sure about sending Agent Graves?
He's the best I ever trained.
For 28 years, I've been searching for my baby brother.
You haven't seen anyone who looks like this?
I hope I don't die before I get old.
We finally found your brother. He's gonna be at this posh event tomorrow.
Eyes on the target.
Finally, I can make things right.
Nobby? Oh my God.
Because of you, my shot was compromised.
A huge manhunt to find the rogue secret agent.
How can I help? Stay away from me.
Don't worry, brother. I won't leave you.
Don't worry, it's bulletproof.
You can't hurt us. We've got bulletproof glass.
Blow it up! That pellet was filled with a toxin, and I'll be dead in 90 seconds if you don't suck it out. You can suck it, or you can let me die.
Okay. What would you like written on your gravestone?
Suck it!
And in what font would you like that?
Bring me Sebastian Graves.
I lost him forever. I'm useless.
You are not useless. Who's the man who can get me pregnant without even waking me up?
Me.
Who's the man who's never even read a book?
Me!
And who's the man who had sex with me in a police station without even getting arrested?
That wasn't me.
Oh, never mind that.
You don't have guts.
I disagree.
Ukrainian Ben Affleck.
Oh, well, that was easy.
I understand why you love guns so much. I mean, it completely detaches you from the guilt of your actions.
Oh, will you stop shooting everything?
This one kind of caught me off guard because, I mean, here's the thing. In that trailer, it looks like a pretty straight-ahead buddy cop comedy type movie where the two of them are going to be running around England shooting things and cracking wise and talking to his gross family. But there's a couple things in this movie that I didn't see coming, and I'm just going to go down the list, and you tell me whether you expected these things to happen. One man sucking on another man's balls. Did you see that coming?
Yes, because that was in the trailer.
Okay. A giant elephant penis. Did you see that coming?
I wish.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I did. Listen, I did see it coming.
Yeah. The scene with the fans at the end. I mean, there's so many parts of this that just as I'm in the theater and about me and 30 other people, just you get body heaves, these rolling body heaves of disgust as this movie just keeps letting things happen. And a lot of people died. I didn't expect that many people to just people out of nowhere will just explode and die. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happened a lot. I don't know. What did you think of the movie overall?
I enjoyed it, but I'd say it's definitely on the lower half of the end of Sacha Baron Cohen movies.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway from it was I realized he went hardcore into the gross out humor.
Yeah.
Which is something Sacha Baron Cohen's always done.
Yeah.
But I feel like it works better in like a Borat Bruno style.
Well, it works better when he's using it to like turn a mirror onto society. Mm-hmm. And in those movies, we were talking about this earlier. They're a mix of the smart of like satire of look at the world that you live in and look at the terrible people that you are. And in this one, there wasn't any of that. It was just like, look, a pair of testicles, and you're like, come on, what? It wasn't saying anything more important. It wasn't doing anything bigger. Funny movie, but mostly stupid. Yeah, it's a Sacha Baron Cohen movie without the smart stuff.
Yeah.
So
there
you go.
I mean, it was enjoyable.
It's enjoyable.
It was fun.
I laughed. I had fun.
Yeah, I laughed a lot.
Yeah, I laughed a ton.
That scene in the trailer where he shoots the bird is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, once he finds out how much fun guns are.
Just shoots everybody.
He does a lot of stuff with a gun that you wouldn't totally think of doing with a gun. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
he does a lot of stuff with a lot of stuff.
He does a lot of stuff with a lot of stuff. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, it's...
Especially fireworks.
His proctologist is getting a lot of work. I'm just going to say that because... My goodness. There's a lot of that stuff. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do was talk about a couple of these big movie trailers that have come out in the last couple of weeks. They're getting a ton of press and a ton of people are online talking about them. And the first one I want to talk about is the Ghostbusters one. Now, we're not going to show the whole trailer. We're just going to talk to you about it. A lot of people are pissed because they feel like it should have been funnier. They feel like they're borrowing too much from the original. What did you think of the Ghostbusters trailer?
I have talked a lot about this trailer.
Okay.
I think the Ghostbusters trailer, it rubbed me wrong from the first 5 seconds because it says 4 scientists. Winston wasn't a scientist.
Winston wasn't a scientist. And they actually, in the international version, they've now changed it to 4 friends.
Yeah, they've changed it to 4 friends.
But yeah, which is better.
I guess. It's a real like...
And see, a lot of people are mad, though, about that. So, again, you make the black one the one that's not a scientist, the one that's street smart.
Like, almost every line from Leslie Jones in the movie was, like, from some other movie with a black stereotypical character.
And he shouted, which is kind of like her thing.
That's her thing.
She's a one-trick pony, and she does that trick better than almost anybody right now. And she does it really well, and it's always really funny. But yeah, it feels kind of typecast-ish to consistently put the fourth Ghostbuster is the black one, is the one from the streets, is not a scientist.
And like, first she's the street smart one, and then later on in this movie she's like a screaming Southern Baptist lady.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Yeah, and actually they did a version of this on Saturday Night Live, that's where Leslie Jones is from. Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon, both from Saturday Night Live.
And so is Kristen Wiig.
And Kristen Wiig too. But they did a version of that where they sent her to a haunted house and let her be the crazy, scared black woman.
Yeah.
And
then they made a movie and called it Ghostbusters.
They made a movie called it Ghostbusters. I was a little bummed about that, but overall, for me, the things that I saw that I was excited about was the ghosts look really good.
Ghosts look great. There's the ghost on the stilts in Times Square.
Yeah.
That one like legitimately freaked me out.
The ghosts look really great, although I kind of wish they were still real people and not CGI, but they do look great. They look really good. And then the other thing that kind of made me, when I saw it, I totally geeked out and nerded out, was the new guns. So in the past, they had these little sticks, the proton sticks, and they could like throw it like a rope. And they would talk about lassoing them, and now they have like pistols.
Yeah.
Which, to me, is just so much more fun. That's awesome.
I think my favorite part of the trailer was the music.
You mean the lack of the music?
No, they had like the...
Initially, they had the piano notes of the Ghostbusters song.
Yeah.
And then in the first trailer, they didn't use the song. And then there was a fan cut version of it that used the whole ba-na-na-na-na-na.
See, I haven't seen the fan cut one.
Okay. And then in the international version, they used the actual Ghostbuster song. But in the first version of the trailer, they didn't use it very much. It almost...
Yeah, but when they did use it, I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, they got my money. I'm going to go see the movie no matter what. That's just happening.
Me too, on HBO. I think my biggest problem with the trailer was it looked like a trailer for any mediocre comedy that's come out in the last 5 years, but with Ghostbusters.
A little bit. Well, and to me, I didn't feel like it needed... Because the original trailer for the first Ghostbusters isn't funny. I mean, the movie in itself isn't so much a comedy. It's not laugh, 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 joke, joke, joke. They build. They take a long time to build in between anything that happens that's funny.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's just a straight up story about dudes catching ghosts.
Yeah.
And now this is a movie about chicks catching ghosts. And so, yeah, deal with it. You know what I mean? So that part didn't totally bug me too much. But yeah, a lot of people are definitely talking about that one. The other trailer that a lot of people are freaking out about, and this just came out this last week, I believe Thursday, so about 5 days ago for us, about a week ago for you guys. And that's the Captain America Civil War trailer. And the thing that everybody's freaking out about, because we've already seen one trailer for this is the second trailer, is the inclusion of
Black
Spider-Man.
Panther.
No, we saw him already.
I know, but he looks so cool.
He did look so cool.
Black Panther
I
looks
freaked
so
out when I saw
awesome.
him. But no, at the end of it, we got a quick peek at Spider-Man. Spider-Man, formerly the property of Sony, and they made an agreement with Marvel, and Marvel gets to use Spider-Man. And they showed right off the bat that they were the ones that should have had Spider-Man all along. My gosh, the costume is great. The eyes actually move. You can hear some electronics whirring and stuff. Probably, and everybody's saying probably a gift from Tony Stark. Tony Stark calls them underoos, which, I mean, there's nothing about this didn't work. It all was perfect. It was. What did you think? What did you think of Spider-Man?
I mean, just the Spider-Man?
Or the trailer overall?
I loved Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more, and I'm excited to see Spider-Man films going
forward.
From here out.
Yeah.
Did you hear about his audition?
No. What did he do in his audition?
He auditioned with John Bernthal, who's playing the
I did hear
Punisher.
about this. Yeah. So John Bernthal being the Punisher,
They
Tom
auditioned
Holland
together.
They sent in videotapes to Marvel with the two of them auditioning as Punisher and Spider-Man simultaneously.
Yeah, which is awesome.
That's just super cool. Now I don't know if we're ever going to actually see that. Maybe in the Infinity War movies.
Yeah.
But up until now, the Netflix Marvel universe seems to be in its own little pocket of New York. Whereas
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. Whereas the rest of the movies are all taking place all over the world. So, but yeah, so cool.
I think one of my favorite bits in the trailer that I don't see getting talked about much, is the Scarlet Witch Vision fight.
Scarlet Witch Vision fight, because it looks like she's like crippling him.
Yeah, which is awesome, because in Age of Ultron, I definitely got the feeling that Vision could beat anybody.
I mean, if you look at his power set, he can beat everybody.
He can shoot a laser out of his face and phase
through
through
lasers out of his
stuff,
face, and he can phase through stuff. And then once he phases through it, he can then become solid. And once he becomes solid, he would then just replace the matter of you.
Yeah.
And you'd be dead.
And then we get like a 1 second shot of Scarlet Witch he's like on the ground covered in her magic, and she's just like...
And see, that was my worry, though, when I looked at the initial teams that they're going to set up for Captain America's team and Iron Man's team, is that without seeing Scarlet Witch on Captain America's team, it really looks uneven. Because Captain America's team is mostly just people, and Iron Man's team is still people, but with superpowers.
Yeah.
So I'm a person, but I'm in an Iron Man suit, so I'm awesome. And then I've got a buddy, he's got an Iron Man suit, he's awesome. And then we also have Black Panther, who we're being told has some variation of powers. I think they showed off he's bulletproof in this. They showed bullets. His suit is bulletproof.
Because it's assumedly made of vibranium.
Yeah, so his whole suit is made out of Captain America's shield. It looks amazing. I can't wait to see this movie. I'm so psyched for this.
I just want to mention one more thing.
Yeah.
The Ant-Man Hawkeye bit with Ant-Man on the arrow.
That was, and this is all stuff that we knew was coming. None of it is a surprise. And yet still...
It's just so great.
I screamed at my TV when I watched this.
Like, we knew it was coming, but it's so great to see in motion.
I know, it's so amazing, yeah. So where Hawkeye fires the arrow, and the arrow and a little capsule, Ant-Man is in the arrow. Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah, and the scene with the Flash, when he ran around the tornado.
That didn't happen, but yeah. Didn't happen. Well, and then the other thing that I thought was kind of amazing was Iron Man puts on like this little quick glove.
Oh, the glove.
The little quick Iron Man glove where he just goes ching ching, and then he's got a little bulletproof glove, and he can like grab a gun and let it fire into his hand.
My favorite part of that is when Bucky fires off the gun, the look on Tony Stark's face is like, oh my God, nobody's ever tried to kill me this hard before.
Serious.
Like, he looks, he has the same look on his face as in Superman Returns when the dude shoots Superman in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
And then proceeds to crap his pants.
Yes. I thought you were going to say in the new Batman vs. Superman trailer where Superman goes to hit Batman and Batman blocks it. That was another great trailer too. If you haven't watched these, go watch all 3 of these trailers because they're all amazing.
Just
yeah.
Don't do anything else. You got a family.
So in summation, we're definitely going to see all these movies. The trailers are awesome. The Spider-Man stuff, the cool thing, and we were all just talking about this before the show. There's now variations. There's variations on what he says at the end instead of, "Hey everybody," and then now there's also variations in terms of how he looks. There's different versions of the Spider-Man costume, which if you didn't know, there are hundreds of Spider-Man different costumes out there.
Oh yeah.
I actually have a game on my phone that is all about collecting all the Spider-Men because there's so many of them. So
I had a computer game from 1999 with Spider-Man. It was just called Spider-Man.
Nice.
You could wear like a bunch of different costumes.
Yep.
It was an awesome game.
Yeah. Some of those old games are the best ones.
Right.
So. All right, so that's the end of all the trailer talk. Now we're going to go right into Suck Not Suck. The first bit, Paramount has decided to drop Little Prince 1 week before it was about to be released. So this is an animated movie, and they've been working on it for a couple years, and it was supposed to be released next week, and they decided out of the blue, nope, and just canceled it. Do you think that bodes well for the movie?
I think it doesn't bode well for the movie. I think that sucks.
Yeah.
For the movie. Maybe the movie's terrible.
Yeah.
And maybe they had good reason to drop it, but probably not.
I can't imagine why they would do that. I mean, right now we're seeing Zootopia is a monster at the box office. First weekend it had 73 million. This weekend came out with 50 million. It won the weekend, and it only had a 33% drop off. This would have been the competition. This would have pulled viewers from Zootopia, and now they're not even going to get to do that. I'm surprised.
And seeing how good Zootopia is doing, how well it's doing, I wouldn't be surprised if they had pushed this release back, but they completely dropped it.
They completely dropped it. Yeah, they dropped it, so now they need to go find another distributor and actually get to the theaters another way. Or just do what a lot of people are doing, just go straight to video on demand.
Listen, if Norm of the North can make it to the theaters, I have complete faith in The Little Prince.
Norm of the North just looked awful. And it's been reviewed on this show as awful. And this can't be worse than that.
No.
Honestly, the art in that looks similar to The Book of Life. It might even be by the same people, I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks interesting. It looks cute. I've heard from people who have seen it. They said it was good. So yeah, the person just shouted in the back and said it was awesome. So not sure why Paramount would drop it, but maybe they're bringing it back later in the summer. Maybe somebody else will pick it up and release it later. So
Book of Life, great. I love Sean Penn. Should have gotten an Oscar.
That's not Sean Penn. All right, next up. J.J. Abrams, in a podcast, and I actually listened to this podcast on the Nerdist podcast, briefly dropped news that at one point he was working on a Roger Rabbit sequel for Steven Spielberg. Now I'm hearing that and I'm like, that can't suck. It's working. It's with Spielberg. It's with Abrams. It's Roger Rabbit. To me, that means not suck. What do you think? Would or would that not suck?
I'm hearing that and thinking, I've never seen Roger Rabbit.
Oh my goodness!
So, but we look at the talent behind it. Roger Rabbit's a beloved film. Steven Spielberg, beloved filmmaker.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams, beloved filmmaker. My opinion, notwithstanding.
Yeah. Could have
Not
probably
sucked.
could have
Could've
probably
been
still.
good.
Bob Hoskins was still alive back then. They probably could have gotten him again.
They could just CGI him.
I don't think they would have done that. But
Get the people from Sopranos.
Some people brought up that it would be really hard to do that again, just because they got Disney and Warner Brothers both to agree to have all their characters in one movie together, and that probably won't ever happen again. Kingsman, the Kingsman franchise. We already know there's going to be a sequel that's already planned, and they're doing that one. Julianne Moore is going to be the bad guy in that one, by the way.
I love it.
So now they're looking at making it a whole trilogy. They're going to make 3 of these movies, which I think is kind of standard now. If you make a movie and it's good, we should all expect about at least a trilogy.
Yeah.
And if not more. So, what do you think? Trilogy for Kingsman? Suck, not suck?
Not suck. I think like if they can retain 75% of the quality of the first movie for the following two, they'll be great movies.
Yeah. And I'm sure Mark Millar, the guy who wrote the original source material, he's going to be on tap to help out with the next phases.
And who's the director? He did X-Men First Class.
Oh, Edgar Wright?
No.
Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn.
He's great.
I get him and Edgar Wright mixed up.
Yeah. X-Men First Class, Kick-Ass, Kingsman, all great movies.
Yeah, all great movies. And several of those, I believe, also Mark Millar. Mark Millar also wrote Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yeah.
So, yeah. They make good stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to keep making good stuff. Kingsman's going to be awesome. All right, next up, Star Trek Beyond, which is going to be released here in a couple months, has now gone back in for reshoots and re-edits, so much so to the point that they've added an entirely new character to the movie. Does that sound like it bodes well? To me, that sounds like it's going to make it suck.
I don't think the movie's going to suck, but I don't think it necessarily bodes well.
No.
But my biggest fear is the new character, the new actress, is I believe an Indian woman.
Yes.
And Star Trek has a great history of handling racial issues well.
No, it doesn't.
Listen, Star Trek has always been the most progressive, racist show. And I love it.
Yeah, no.
But I think the movie will be good.
Do you mean how they've had Khan played by two different races that are not the race of the actual Khan? Yeah.
Or there's the episode of TNG where they go to the planet and the aliens are Africans.
Yes. Yeah. Just straight up Africans. It's like the whole planet full of Africans. That show has problems sometimes with some of that stuff. There are some areas where it can be very progressive, but then a lot of other areas that it needs work. It definitely needs help.
Yeah.
So.
But all the porn.
Yeah. Okay, last one up. Christopher Nolan has decided to cast Harry Styles of the band One Direction in a World War II movie. Yeah. Yeah, because when I look at that guy, I can just, see the suffering and see the grit and determination of soldiers. Not sure where he's going with this.
Okay, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a draft in World War II.
Yeah.
So a lot of the soldiers were probably dudes like Harry Styles.
None of the soldiers were dudes like Harry Styles. I guarantee you.
They had to get their hair cut.
No, I'm pretty sure none of them looked like that to begin with.
I'm going to say this doesn't suck.
Really?
I have complete faith that Harry Styles will turn in a serviceable performance.
I don't have faith in that. I have faith that Christopher Nolan makes good movies and will continue to make this a good movie, regardless of how many terrible pop stars he has in the movie.
I mean, think, what was the reaction to Heath Ledger being the Joker before?
Initially not great. I do remember that. Well, because that's the show for this week. If you have any issues with the show, any questions, I say issues, and for the first time I think somebody might have issues. Any questions about the show, or if you want to be a guest host like my buddy Noah was, give us an email. It's bigbms@zoho.com. Next week, come back and check us out. I'm going to be having either Ashley or Jake Davis. They haven't decided yet. They're a young married couple. No, they're just getting married here, and I decided to call them by their
on the
names.
show.
No, although I am going to be performing the ceremony.
You are?
Yeah. So me and them are going to be watching Allegiant, the new Diversion movie, and Miracles from Heaven, where kids fall out of trees and get healed from stuff.
From Jesus.
From Jesus. Like Andy gives him a cavity, he comes in and I get more money. That's how that shit works.
I've never been to a dentist who's given candy.
Oh yeah, happen all the time.
Like recently?
Well, no, I'm like 30, but
no, I'm like 30. I haven't been to the dentist in 12 years.
Actually, I'm 34 Friday.
I haven't been to the dentist in... I can't count. Hey, congrats.